The following is a sponsored program paid for by Robin Gwaltney Group-RE Results. Welcome to Rochester Real Estate, featuring Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group-RE Results and Andy Brownell. Here's Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk, 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning, everyone. It's Andy Brownell, and it's Saturday, and I am with Robin Gwaltney Group-RE Results. Hi, Robin.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well. I am starting to feel rested as we move into this. I can't believe it's already the 4th of July.
I know. Well, if the weather holds out and it really truly does stay sunny and warm all day today, tomorrow, Monday, and Tuesday, it will be a fabulous 4th of July weekend.
Although we need the rain.
It can rain at nighttime.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to in the next 4 days, though.
Let me take down your order.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. I have a bunch of people coming over to just bask in the sunshine and enjoy the pool, so rain would not be the best this weekend.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think you're really risking it too bad.
Yeah.
What was the other night? It was 90% chance of thunderstorms. And I watched
nothing.
the radar, and it came down. It got to some Brota, and it just fizzled out.
Yeah, it is getting kind of scary because I can guarantee you my yard is not looking beautiful like anybody else's.
I'm trying, but it's not, with this kind of dryness, it's not working.
The good news is you don't have to mow much.
No, it's amazing how little the grass grows when you don't put water on it.
Exactly.
4th of July. It seems like just yesterday it was Memorial Day.
It is really crazy, honestly. And, I feel like this is kind of the last little, like June comes and there's graduations and, of course, there's weddings and stuff all summer long. But I feel like the first part of June until the 4th of July is a really busy time for all those kind of events. And then I think we have just a little bit of like normalcy the rest of July and August and into September. So I'm looking forward to not running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Yeah,
you're right, though. It seems like most of the community festivals take place. They're packing in June. There are still some that will take place over the next few months, but the vast majority of them happen that 2 or 3 week period in June.
I always think of the 4th of July. I mean, I know we're going the opposite direction, but I always feel like this is the real first summer weekend, like getting out and just hanging out and enjoying summer. So I'm glad the weather is cooperating.
But man, this smoke, it's been amazing, hasn't it?
Oh, it's so sad. It hasn't really, hasn't really affected me too bad because I don't have asthma or any of those things. But I do feel really bad for the people who get out and actually have a hard time breathing in it. Yeah.
When you look at the skyline and you cannot even see from my place downtown Rochester some days.
Yeah, it is scary. But then you know what it makes me appreciate? And I was talking about this with one of the people I was showing houses to the other day. They're actually moving here from the East Coast. And I said, it makes me realize how spoiled we are with no pollution.
Right.
Because when all of a sudden the air quality is bad, we're like, oh my gosh, this is awful. And they're like, we're kind of used to this.
Yeah, this is the norm. And when they get socked with the smoke, it's really, really bad.
Then it's really bad. Exactly, because they're dealing with pollution and then add smoke.
So it's similar to us complaining about humidity.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. And thank gosh I got out of Louisiana when I did. It's hot and miserable there this week.
Yeah,
I was out showing houses all week, and it was really good house showing weather.
Fantastic.
And I think we don't have any open houses this weekend, of course, because we've learned over the years that doing open houses on holiday weekends is just basically a waste of time because you have certain buyers that are out, because we do have some showings requested at some of our listings. So those buyers that are out and about this weekend are very serious buyers. And for the most part, they've already done their research and lined themselves up with their agent. And if they haven't, sometimes they'll just call directly to the listing agent to see those listings, and just let it be known that if anybody wants to see any of the Gwaltney Group listings this weekend, we have plenty of people available to make those showings happen. So we won't be hosting open houses, but we'll definitely be available to show any of our listings.
This reminds me of the conversation we had a year ago.
Really?
Yeah, because you were going to throw the 4th of July party.
It's an annual thing.
And you had made the pledge to Scott that no matter what, you weren't going to take a call.
Oh, yeah.
So I never checked back to see if you actually left.
I actually think I did take a few calls because I was asked to go look at a house with a gal, and she said, but it can wait until, after the 4th. And I'm like, yay. But I didn't leave.
All right. Because in the past you had, I remember that.
I left him one time with 40 people, and he's like, no, you don't. He survived.
All right.
When duty calls, that's just the way it is.
I imagine just the overall market now, too, that we got past the graduation, open houses.
Yep.
We've got past, that initial, the kids are done with school, we're going to rush in, whatever, get some things done that, as you said, things getting back to normal type cycle of events. I imagine that has an impact on the real estate market as well.
It does. And I look for this. I really do look for these next 2 months to be pretty darn busy. And that's because here we are, July. So September, guess what happens? The kids go back to school. So people who do have kids that want to move and get settled before the beginning of the school year are going to be out there in full forces. So, yeah, I absolutely believe that July and August will be, I think July, August, September, October, November probably are going to be really good months in our real estate market. So I'm looking forward to them.
And where are we at with interest rates now? Not that we were tracking that closely.
Well, honestly, you can get a 30-year fixed conventional mortgage for under 6%.
Yep.
I just had somebody lock in at 5.75. I was thrilled. So, it's not that bad. It's like, it's not as great as 3%.
Well, yeah, get over it, right?
Yeah, get over it is right.
It's not coming back.
And what's funny is we were together. Scott and I were showing a house this week, and the person said, well, should I be waiting for a better interest rate? And I'm like, okay, clearly he doesn't listen to my radio show. But I said, the truth is that this was once considered a great rate. And
right.
Scott piped up and said, when I was a new agent, I clearly remember telling a buyer, 6% interest, you got to jump on this. It'll never go lower than 6%. Well, clearly he was wrong, but that's just how good 6% felt.
Yeah, especially after coming off of interest rates in the teens.
Yes, correct. Double digits. But what we really do want to focus on, it.
The budget.
Monthly payment. What is your monthly payment? So, yes, the price is, of course, a factor. It has to appraise. We don't want to buy something that doesn't have value. But you take the price, and as long as you're buying something that's worth what you're paying, and the interest rate is what the interest rate is, and if you combine those factors and the monthly payment is something that is comfortable within your budget, then you're golden.
Yeah. Absolutely. What would be stopping you at that point?
Exactly.
It's just some sort of psychological game you're playing with yourself otherwise.
I met this lovely new client, and she's a young physician just going on staff, just actually went on staff. July 1st, I think, is when she started. So she was all ready to buy a house, and she was so excited. And then she called me and she said, oh, I think I better put the brakes on. And I said, okay. I said, what happened? I thought you were crazy about that house. And she said, well, I talked to some people, and they told me that now was probably not the best time. So I said, okay, let's be clear. Are these people your parents, or are these people your coworkers? And she said, oh, my coworkers. And you're going to love this, Andy. But I said to her, so your coworkers are in the medical profession? And she said, correct. And I said, I'm just going to tell you one thing. if I am seeking medical advice, I am not going to reach out to my fellow realtors. And she said, good point. So then we talked about the things that we've been talking about lately, and she felt so much better. But it's just interesting how much outside noise can affect people.
Oh, yeah.
And if they don't have somebody that can then guide them, she goes, well, they told me that I should save up for a better down payment. And I said, but we talked about the physician's loan where you have 0% down. Yeah, I said that, but then they told me that it's not as good as it sounds because I still have to pay mortgage insurance, and with no money down, I'll be paying a higher rate. I said, wrong again, because the physician's loan has no mortgage insurance, even with no money down, and has the most competitive rates out there. So wrong, 3 strikes, they're out. And she's like, oh my gosh, Robin, I'm so glad that you're telling me all this. But, again, everybody isn't as good of a communicator as she was. So some people would just get excited about buying a home and then hear something like that from somebody whose opinion they value, because I'm sure they can give her very good advice when it comes to her position at the hospital. When she needs advice from one physician to another, I'm sure she can count on them heavily, but probably not the best place to get her advice on her real estate transactions.
And that's why you always say, if you hear this kind of stuff and you want to talk about, give you a call.
Yeah, so I can explain it all to you. Yes, exactly. Because I think that when they share this kind of information with their friends, they do believe it to be true. They're not just trying to squash her dreams of becoming a homeowner. And I said, this is the deal. Waiting for a year would only delay your starting to build wealth by a year. But if you'd prefer to continue to build wealth for your landlord, well, that's your choice. She's like, no, I think I'll buy. So, anyway.
Oh, fantastic. Well, we need to take a break, so we'll do that.
All right.
And return in a moment with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group-RE Results. It's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM. Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group-RE Results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Welcome back, everyone. Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group-RE Results with us on a holiday Saturday morning. It's always weird to think the holiday when the holiday's Tuesday. Because there's
Are you going to work Monday?
Me? No.
Do you have to work Monday?
Nope.
Yeah, me either.
But a lot of people do because Mayo's operating on Monday.
Right.
I think county courts are open Monday and a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I told the people that work with us, let's just consider this a 4-day holiday. And if people call, because, we work on Saturdays and Sundays and holidays anyway, but it's like, let's not go into the office and do the regular routine on Monday. Let's just see what we can get away with. Take a little break.
Well, there's, other than what's happening at Mayo downtown, and if you're working in the restaurant or something like that, there's not a heck of a lot going on.
Yeah, but it might be a good day for someone to look at houses if they do have the day off. So, we'll be here and we'll be ready to roll.
There you go. And you won't take Robin away from the pool party on Monday.
Nope, Monday won't be the pool party. Tuesday, but it's all good. Any day is fine. This is going to be kind of I think more of a relaxed year. We've just been through so much that I'm like not really ready to go full-blown party. So it'll be not quite the COVID year version, but it'll be a tuned down version. We won't have our beauty pageant and our parade and some of the other fun festivities that we have here in Reed's Landing with our annual 4th of July party.
Isn't it nice to finally this summer feel normal again?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not 100% there yet, but it's almost there.
And no, we've got to get our masks out for the air now instead of for COVID. Yeah. Crazy. At least we still have
them. Building homes. Are we seeing any? Is anything starting to happen out there on that? I know.
I haven't noticed a ton locally, but if you look at like articles about new construction, the answer is yes. This is the third month consecutively that the amount of new construction that's going on has increased. So it's definitely moving in the right direction, which is great.
I think I've seen more construction happening in the communities surrounding Rochester than I have in Rochester.
Yeah, and I think that, well, here, let me give you a little data. This isn't Rochester per se, but it says near record percentage of new home inventory. So newly built homes today make up a near record percentage of the total number of homes available. In fact, as the data shows, newly built homes now make up 31% of our total for sale inventory. So over the past couple of decades, newly built homes made an average of only 13% of our total housing inventory, and now we're at 31%. So almost, 3 times that. So that's two things. We're just not seeing as many pre-owned homes on the market, but because of that, the builders are regaining confidence in building because we've got to have inventory, right?
Yes. Well, I did notice as well when I was up in Duluth for Grandma's Marathon on the way back, those far northern Twin Cities suburbs, they're building like crazy out there.
Yeah. I saw something, I think it was yesterday or sometime this week on the Today Show about a tiny house for sale in Duluth that it made the national news because they're asking, it's 200 square feet and they're asking $200,000.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. And then there was all kinds of comments on Facebook about it. Ridiculous. This is crazy. It looks like the garden shed for the house next door. And it's not like it's like a cool setting. Oh, that reminds me, I have to tell you about a really cool opportunity for somebody. But this one is just like a little house crammed in between 2 other houses. I'm like, so they interviewed the realtor. I felt sorry for her. I don't know if I would have taken the interview. I would have been so embarrassed because they're like, can you justify this price? And she goes, well, the owners came up with this price. I wanted to say, well, that was your first mistake. I mean, you can't just let them think that somebody's really going to pay that price. And she then said, it's what they have into it because they built it during COVID and prices were so high then. And I don't know. I just wanted to say, unfortunately, they made a really bad investment. But it is what it is. It reminds me about a listing appointment that I got called on. Right down on Sam Prairie, which is down by the Pioneer Supper Club, between Kellogg and Wabasha. I got a call from a guy, and he said, I've got kind of a unique thing, going on out here. Do you want to come and take a look? I'm not sure I want to sell it, but I just want your professional opinion. So I said, okay. So Scott and I went out there, I think it was last weekend, and oh my gosh, this guy had bought a lot, just a regular old lot, 3/4 of an acre, something like that. And it had been completely planted by the previous owner with red pines. They're the ones that are really tall and skinny. They grow really straight. They used to be used to make all the telephone poles. And there were just tons of them. Like, it was thick with these things. And this guy had worked many years for the DNR. So he was a forester, right? So he was like, yeah, I'm interested. I'm intrigued. He bought it. And it was very, very reasonable what he got that land for. And he then went in by hand and started logging it, removing, every so often a group of pine trees. So now if you go out there, it's like you're in your own little pine forest, but there's pine needles just blanket the ground, but lots of space in between them. And he has built not only a tiny house, but he has built a tiny guest house next to the tiny house. And then he's built a tiny garage that fits his 4-wheeler neck on the other side. And he's got an outdoor swing and a pool, picnic table and a big fire pit and a big deck. But this is the cool part. It costs him $0. He is completely off the grid. He has solar power, and he has a gas generator, and he has, his street lights that he put up. They're like big yard lamps that just light up the whole area, and they're all solar. He said, I maybe have $2,500 worth of solar lighting out here. But he brings in a 40-gallon tank of water when he comes, because he lives in Iowa, and he just comes up here for his seriously peace and quiet getaway. I mean, I wanted to stay there. I was like, okay, can I just please stay here for just a few hours? He's like, you stay as long as you want. I'm like, this is the most peaceful, serene setting. And you look up at the sky, and all you could see was these towering pine trees and the sun breaking through. And you could hear nothing except birds chirping. Just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. But I think he'd sell all that for $200,000. So it beats the heck out of that little. But he's not sure if he wants to sell it. And to be honest, I told him he'd be crazy to sell it.
Yeah, well, you think the peaceful aspect. I don't know if I can.
Well, no money to maintain. No money to maintain whatsoever. Well, each of the houses, the guest house and the actual tiny house and the tiny guest house both have the same little heater, like a space heater, and has it super, super crazy insulated. So he said he has been out there in December. But yeah. So if you like a really simple life and you don't want to get any monthly bills, there you go.
Off the grid.
Off the grid.
All right. We'll take another break. Come back in a moment with Robin Gwaltney with Gwaltney Group RE/MAX results on News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM. Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE/MAX results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We're back with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX results, and other than the glamping property over there in the woods, what else do you have as far as listings are concerned?
Okay, let's talk about that. Got quite a few here. We've got one at 410 First Place Southwest in Orinoco. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath, 2-car garage. It's not a tiny place, but it's not a huge place. 1,625 square feet. Now I'm coughing. Sorry about that. $299,900. Yeah, I heard something on the radio about breathing in this air is equivalent to smoking 6 cigarettes a day or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I'm not smoking, but I do have smoker's hack.
I've noticed a lot of people having that this week.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. All right, then 1549 Alexander Road. If you'd like a really upscale, really nice walkout ranch townhome, this one is a beauty. It is $540,000. 4 beds, 3 baths, 3,358 square feet. This is such a sad story. I put it on the market a few months back. Well, geez, half a year ago. I don't know. Seems like that. It sold in like day 2 on the market, but it had a pushed out closing date. And so probably about 4 months ago. And then right prior to the closing, Mr. Seller passed away.
Oh, no.
Mr. Buyer. So they couldn't buy. Mrs. Buyer couldn't buy it. And they were moving here from out of state. Oh, it was so sad. So anyway, it's back on the market, and hopefully it'll sell just as quickly as it did the first time. We do have a lot if you're one of those people that wants to build a house. We've got a lot over in Southeast on Pinewood Road.
Okay.
And that one is 4 acres, 4.7 acres.
Well, that's a nice size lot. Wow.
Yeah, it is. And it's $198,000. So you can either buy a 200 square foot house in Duluth, cram between two spots, or you can spend the $200,000, buy 4 acres and build something a little bigger.
There you go.
All right. I've got 2018 7th Avenue Northeast, and that's a 4-bed, 3-bath, 2-car garage, 3,472 square foot tuck under, and that one is $449,900.
That's a nice size house.
It is a nice size house. And out in Preston, 1175 Highway 52 North in Preston, we've got a 3-bed, 3-bath, 2,432 square foot house for $395,000. But check this out. I think I told you about this one last week.
No.
5-car garage.
Maybe you did. Maybe I forgot everything else except for the 5-car garage.
Yeah, 5-car garage. That's all you heard.
I think you're right.
All right. And then we do have a very interested party, but it is not sold. We still have that property on Ryan's Bay. 3 beds, 2 baths, 2,000 square feet, $750,000 with a double lot of frontage right on the water. Private dock. Beautiful, beautiful, great opportunity. We've got 109 2nd Avenue Northwest in Pine Island. That's a 4-bed, 2-bath, 1,560 square foot house for $207,000. And we've got those lots up in Woodland Valley. You know, I've got about 8 lots up there that are absolutely beautiful. So I hope that everything I'm reading about the new construction picking up is true, because these will be some pretty high-end houses. These lots range from the mid-3s to the mid-4s.
Okay.
But they're, acreages, of course, small acreages. I've got some nice brand new townhomes over in Supala Court. It's the last building that's going to be going up over there. So we've got a 6-plex, so 6 of them. They're not quite finished, but they'll be finished soon. They are showing a couple of the units. We've got a great townhome at 2827 Riverwood Lane Northwest, and that is $249,900. That one just got all new siding, so it looks fabulous, the whole neighborhood out there. I've got lots out in Sally Ridge, so if you want to live out in that beautiful neighborhood, there's still lots available. A gorgeous house at 2325 Scenic Park Place, Southwest, for $1,150,000. So I think I've got a little something for everybody, from building houses to lakefront property to $1 million plus to $207,000. So for heaven's sakes, if you're looking for it, I can find it for you. Give me a call.
A potpourri.
You got it.
What's that phone number, Robin?
507-259-4926, and guess what? I'll even answer it if I'm in the pool.
And Scott will frown, but no, that's okay.
He'll be fine.
All right. Well, you enjoy the 4th of July holiday, long holiday weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.
And everybody, stay safe. Stay safe. My gosh, with as dry as it is, I'm so worried about all the fireworks. We might have to, we might have to just take it easy on those this year.
Yeah.
Leave it to the firemen and the professionals that are doing them.
Good advice. All right.
All right.
Thanks,
Happy
Robin.
4th, everyone.
Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX results on News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9.